Hello, my name is Jordan King, and I will be working on a C++ tutorial today. We will be doing a programming warm-up exercise in the Programming and Problem Solving with C++ 6th edition. In Chapter 3, Programming Warm-up Exercise number 15. The warm-up exercise is asking for us to create a C++ program that can compute and output the Celsius value corresponding to the given Fahrenheit value. Okay, the first thing we need to do is note what program we will be creating. So in the green part right here, we're just telling each other, like reminding each other what program we're creating. So we put Celsius program. This program outputs the Celsius temperature and the corresponding to a given Fahrenheit temperature. Okay. And I'm going to add an A right here because I forgot to spell Fahrenheit correctly. And make sure to include the necessary header files. So right here we need to include the stdafx.h header file. Also, they include IOStream header file, which allows us to access the C++ function library, and also includes your using namespace std. Okay, and the most important part of C++ programming is to include the main function. The main function invokes calls on other functions in the C++ program. And at the end of this entire program, we will return 0 because that's the only value that needs to return back to the computer. So in order to start our program, we already have the main function. So now we are going to include our constant value, which will be a float value. And right here we are predefining our Fahrenheit. We're naming our Fahrenheit. And we're going to name the Fahrenheit 72.0 degrees. And in the C++ function, this is how you will. This is the standard of how you will name a constant function. And we're using the data type floats because we want to include this point right here. And so next we will name the Celsius. We will name the Celsius data type. And here we are going to give the Celsius data type an equation, and we know the equation in order to take a Fahrenheit temperature to Celsius, we have to the equation is Fahrenheit. This equation is Celsius equal Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5/9. And after we do that, we want to tell our computer to see out, which means to display the following onto the screen, onto our output screen. So we will use these quotation marks. The quotation marks is basically saying we want the computer to display these words. So once we put that, we make sure we put inline. The inline function is stating that the only thing that will be on that line is this name. And the cout is a function that tells, again, the cout is a function that tells the computer what to display on the output screen. And here we will refer to our constant data type. And since our constant is already predefined up here, we do not have to name it 72 again because we've already named it. And again, we'll inline that part of it. And we'll do the same again for the Celsius. We'll give it the name that we wanted to display onto the output screen. and then we'll end that line because it's the only thing we want on that line. And then on the last part, we will see out float, because we want to have the float data type because we want to see the points behind the Celsius. And since our Celsius is already predefined, we do not have to put in the equation again. And this part right here, the last part of cn.get, the cn.get will allow us to capture and to view the results for a long period of time without it consistently running. And then we will return 0, because the return 0 is basically telling the main function that to return 0 to the computer. And after that, we will put our last bracket. Okay, and I just want to hit on a few items. Make sure to always include this semicolon at the end of each statement, because that's part of this C++ syntax. The end line is also important because on each line that is indicating that will be the only thing to show up on that line. And also, when you have named a function, make sure it is the same throughout the program, because in order to change the name of the function, you must change it at the beginning. And then once you change it at the beginning, you must go through and change the name throughout the entire program. And also, once you name the function, you do not have to continually rename the function. It will be the same continuous throughout the programming. And also, I want to remind you to also include your header files, the needed header files, in order to access the C++ function library. And then once you want to run the program, first we need to build it to make sure there are no errors. Okay, right here it says that it is one succeeded. That means that your program has no errors in it, and that you can finally debug the program, which means to run the program. So we're going to click here and run the program, and the program ran correctly. Here in this black screen we have the results. We have Fahrenheit, which says the Fahrenheit is 72, and Celsius, which says 22.22222. The reason that the points behind the Celsius continue to 2222 is because we chose data type float, and data type float does not truncate the ongoing data points. So if we wanted to truncate the data points, we would put integer instead of data type float. And so that would be a good thing to know when creating other C++ programs. But for now, we have successfully completed our Celsius program, and that is the end of this tutorial. Thank you.